traditionally, if you go back, we had communities that found their ways of solving their problems.
All right.
Generally around Africa, and South Africans captured this in the philosophy of Ubuntu. I am because we are. Communities treated every member as family. That's why they say it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
I mean, you are on the streets, you do something wrong. Somebody collects you and gives you a little whooping and expects you to tell your father, who will then give you some more.
Yeah.
Because he feels that you are part of the gifting of that community. And getting you right is getting the community right. So this is a traditional way that African communities came up. But unfortunately, money and greed took away the leadership essence from many of those who were in our communities, who should have been community leaders. Unfortunately, when money was injected, it's a book titled A Swamp Full of Dollars, describing the Niger Delta. As people began to see dollar signs rather than community spirit, people failed to be leaders. And it came to impact the community negatively. So what we need is a leadership rebuilding. Why is this so important particularly? We're going through energy transition. In the next 15, 20 years, oil is going to be important, but not in the way it is today.
All right.
As this transition is going to take place, there needs to be a focusing on what kind of community should we have, knowing that this business of waiting for rent from oil as a way of surviving is not a sustainable one. This is when leadership should be, if you will, displayed. Leadership usually has as one of its major essences visioning. You're going to be able to see tomorrow today and think what needs to be done so that when tomorrow arrives, you will not be worse off, that you will in fact be much, much better off. And so leaders of communities in Niger Delta, I think that their focus today should be, how will the Niger Delta thrive tomorrow in this energy transition?
This one says, good afternoon, Kalada and the guest. Please, Prof, explain how or when will the energy be transitioned from the current form? I am moved whenever I listen to you, Tony, with that one. It's talking about energy transition.
Sure.
You mentioned it earlier. So let's...
Well, a good signpost is one of the oil majors, global oil majors, Total Energies, at its annual general meeting about 2 years ago, indicated that it was writing down its crude assets in Canada to zero within, I think, about 17 years or so. It means, at least in their planning, in their projection, about 17 years from then, crude oil holdings as a source of energy would be pretty much zero. However, I like to tell people that does not mean that hydrocarbons are zilch, because the value chain of hydrocarbons can produce so much more. But you have to get away from thinking of crude oil, which is a major problem that we have, the way we think.
You said in the next 17 years, 20, 30 years, we would move from fossil fuel and would go to clean energy. But can we really, because Germany tried it, I hear, can we really do away with hydrocarbons as a source of energy, not the other component, but as a source of energy?
It's not a matter of doing away or wanting to do it. The pressures are real. I mean, the environment, you can see the climate change, you can see all the effects of, the effect. And so the world necessarily has to move to other forms of energy. And increasingly, hydrocarbons will be less and less, of demand as a fuel source. But like I said, it doesn't mean that hydrocarbons are of no use. in all kinds of pharmaceuticals, in all kinds of other production, the hydrocarbons value chain contributes significantly. The thing is that we need to focus more on how to extract those from the hydrocarbons than on just thinking of the easy fuel.
Do you think the leadership in the Niger Delta is
Prepared for
as
this?
knowledgeable as you've put it?
Unfortunately, maybe not. But that's why not everybody is a leader. The one or two who become more knowledgeable can impact enough for others to begin to follow.